So in this quick video, I want to share 4 tips to help you survive homeschooling. If you're a parent right now, trying to juggle homeschooling, maybe with work and everything else that you need to do as well, hopefully these 4 tips are going to help. So the first tip is to keep your goals and your expectations realistic. It's very easy for all of us to judge ourselves as parents when we're homeschooling our children. And let's be honest, when it comes to our expectations, how often have we gone onto social media and compared our reality to someone else's highlight reel? There's a lot of parents sharing their wins of the day or wins of the week and how they're just really embracing homeschooling. And we go on there and we compare our down moments, our struggles with what we're seeing on social media, and we judge ourselves as parents. So it's important that we have our expectations right. No one is sharing those tears, no one is sharing those struggles on social media. So do not judge yourself, be kind to yourself, set your expectations in a more realistic way, and know that you're not a teacher. Know that you're just doing your best. And even teachers also need to ask for help as well. So don't be afraid to ask for help, do not judge yourself, be kind to yourself, and more importantly, set your expectations to a more realistic level. Tip number 2 is home isn't school, so don't try to make it one. In an ideal world, you would have a set environment for learning within the house, and then the rest of the house would be there for playing and just living. But the reality of it, as we all know, isn't as easy as that. It's a really good tip to have a certain setup for children when it comes to them studying, and that could just be a desk, it could just be a space that they go to for work, and that separates that environment when it comes to home. But it's very difficult for us to mimic what a classroom looks like. And at the beginning of all of this, maybe you tried to do that. Maybe you had the whiteboard, maybe you had the marker pens, maybe you had the timetable printed out, and maybe you was there ready to teach. And now it's changed. Now it's more difficult. Now we have to embrace that change. We have to understand that we're going to make mistakes. And we also need to have conversations with our children. How do they like to work? So in an ideal world, we'll be able to mimic the classroom, we'll be able to create an environment at home that's perfect for school, but it's very difficult to do that. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, don't be afraid to adapt to change, and remember that life skills are equally important. What can you do from home that's creative, that can help them understand and develop some life skills, as well as the academic studies that they're also doing at home? Tip number 3 is to reward their effort and create engagement. Now, when it comes to being their parent, it's very difficult when we're trying to then become their teacher as well. There's this expectation that we might have as parents, and there's this way of dealing with our children that we have that might differ from teachers as well. At the same time, I'm sure a lot of parents will agree with this, and I'm a dad of 2 kids. Sometimes we might not have as much patience for our own children as teachers do. So it's really important that we actually understand that when it comes to us wanting to be teachers, it's very different when they are our own children. But it's important that we encourage them when they are showing effort to their studies. Now, encouragement is really important during these difficult times. And of course, it's very easy for us, again, when we're maybe on a live stream with their school and seeing how other children are doing and how other children are interacting, we might feel like our children need to step it up. But what we need to do is encourage them. We need to make them really focus on education, bothered about education, and really looking forward to education as well. We also need to have open conversations with our children too. If they've had a bad day, how do we react to that? Do we tell them that it's okay to have a bad day? Do we remind them that sometimes we as parents have bad days as well, and tomorrow is a brand new day. Tomorrow is a fresh new start, and how we approach that day is going to be very different as well. So reward their effort, create engagement with your children, however difficult that is. Focus on encouragement over punishment. And then tip number 4, the main one for me, is focus on well-being, their well-being and your well-being. During lockdown 1, we all focused on self-care. We were all doing FaceTimes with family. We were all focusing on ourselves and trying to make sure that we were mentally and emotionally dealing with the challenges that we were faced. Now, when it comes to lockdown 3, are we doing the same? Or are we just normalizing it? Are we just getting up every single day and not focusing on our own well-being and our children's well-being as well? Take regular breaks from homeschool as well. You do not have to follow the exact same structure that they might have within the school environment. Encourage children to have authentic connections with their friends during this difficult time. Encourage physical exercise as well. As a family, can you go out for a walk at lunchtime? Can you have lunch together as a family? Even if maybe as well you're working from home, can you all come together as a family and have lunch? And a morning routine is really important as well. As a family, what are you doing in the morning to set yourself up for the day ahead? Self-care is a priority. Self-care is not a luxury. So whatever you can do, focus on your well-being, and that will really influence your children as well. So there we have it, 4 tips to help you survive homeschooling. Hopefully this video helped. I know, and you know, homeschooling changes every day, every hour, every minute, but do not judge yourself if you are struggling. You're definitely not alone, and these 4 tips can help.